They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it, this is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
Hey everybody, let's talk about this latest episode of Power. So Ghost is still in between trying to be Ghost and Jamie. And so he meets with his lawyer and he wants his lawyer to find out where Lobos is so that he can take care of the situation because he knows that Lobos knows that he tried to have him killed. So another thing that Ghost was doing in this episode was trying to get in touch with Tommy. He's calling him, he's texting him, he's leaving messages, and Tommy is not replying to him. Dre confronts Ghost about the bloody card that he found in his desk drawer. And he says, most people that get these cards, they end up dead or in serious trouble. And he's like, man, let me help you. I'm here to, be your partner. And if you in something, then we in something. Cause I'm with you, so let me know what's up. But Ghost is still trying to keep him at arm's length, kind of like he did Sean, to a certain extent. And he still wants to try to teach Dre the right things to do. He gives him a few responsibilities in this episode. And, a lot of little things happen. And Dre wanted to go about it the hood way. But Jamie keeps telling him, no, 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 no. We trying to do something different around here. So still Dre is itching. Like he's itching to get some action. He even met up with, some of his old crew and they're like, man, what you doing coming in here dressed in a suit? Like, what you doing? You got a court date or something, And, he's just telling them, look, man, I'm trying to be legit. I'm working in a club and, I'm trying to get some money popping that way. And his little goon friends, they're like, man, we need to hit up the club or, try to rob them or whatever. And he's like, nah, man, I just started working there. You can't just be hitting them up like that. you know. Let's see what else. Also in this episode, Ghost meets up with Tasha and he asks if the kids can come over and spend the night with he and Angela, number one. And number two, he wanted to know if she would give Tommy this check. And basically, it's from the laundromat, the different little places they used to launder money. He closed them down and I guess he sold them and he's giving Tommy half of the proceeds. So I guess it's this big old check, honey. And so he asked Tasha to give it to him because obviously Tommy is not trying to talk to Ghost at all. And Tasha tells him, look, he's not really talking to me either. But, she can still get in there a little bit better than Ghost can. Which, is crazy because no matter what happens with Ghost, Tasha will always be his partner in some kind of way because he'll always need her. Even if he goes legit, like he will still have to come to her. She is the mother of his kids. Tasha is just going through it at all ends of the spectrum. Oh my goodness. Okay, she's still trying to deal with the fact that Ghost is gone and he's with Angela now. Lala's character, her best friend, I forgot her name in the series. Sorry. Noticed that Tasha wasn't wearing her ring anymore, which why would she be wearing that ring? Her husband is gone, honey, and he's not coming back home. So she's just trying to really grasp that, So taking the ring off is the first step, at getting over it. And she told her, if you need a job, you can always come here and work. And Tasha was like, I ain't that, down, girl. I ain't that down. But thank you. I might need to come back up in here and work. We just don't know how this gonna go. So she actually does meet up with Tommy with the check, and she's still trying to be nice. She's trying to understand, why is he so hostile at her? And she's not really getting it. She knows that he and Ghost had fallen out, but she doesn't know the extent of what it is. And so they kind of go back and forth, and Tommy says something really mean to her because they're talking about, lying to each other. And he's in his feelings about the fact that Ghost and Tasha kept the fact that they set up Kanan away from him. And so he feels when he got locked up, she might have had something to do with it too, because they partnered up, with Kanan, and they might have partnered up on him. And so she said, "No, I didn't have nothing to do with that." She said, "But we didn't tell you about Kanan for your own good." And he basically was like, "For my own good? Like, what you mean?" And so he said, "Well, I guess when Ghost was out cheating on you with Angela, not telling you about that was to protect you." Just mean. And I mean, she almost teared up. Like, that hurt her. But I don't think Tommy cared. So later on in the episode, Tasha goes by Angela and Ghost's place to, just kind of check it out because her kids are going to be there. Which, Tasha is being very adult about this because she could be acting like crazy baby mama, but she's not doing that. Thank you, Tasha. So she goes there and they meet and they, kind of have this tit for tat kind of talk or whatever. And she's telling Angela, you need to baby proof just a little bit better in here. Where the kids gonna sleep? She's just giving the rundown. The baby drinks this kind of milk and make sure you give her sippy cup at this time, blah, 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 blah. And she makes this little comment, like, this place is smaller than I thought, but okay, I guess. And before Tasha actually walks out the door, Angela says to her, "Thank you." And Tasha just kind of, she takes it in, but then she brushes it off and she's like, when you signed up to be with him, you signed up for these kids too, and I hope you're ready. Can we talk about these two crazy people? Oh my goodness. Tommy is just eight shades of wrong in this episode. I mean, he's just on the warpath, literally. He's having a problem right now just delegating. This isn't his forte. He's not used to being the top dog, the number one person. Ghost is the one that normally handled their business, especially like the relationships with the buyers and all of this stuff. So we can kind of see the tension in this episode. He's talking to one of his buyers, and they're upset because the package is light. And so Tommy says, "Well, since I only have half the product, give me half the money and I'll try to make up the difference." He's trying to do what's best in his opinion, just to kind of make it through because, like I said, he's not used to having this position. So he's kind of struggling with that, trying to figure out how to keep everybody happy and get the business done as smooth as possible. Lobos is still on his back about killing ghosts, and he's, sending his goons out. And it come to find out, um, one of the guys that works for Lobos, he's the one that actually went into Tommy's house and killed their dog. And Tommy wasn't really telling Holly what was happening with the dog. They putting up, lost dog flyers all around town. And she's like, "I just have this feeling that he's dead. He's not coming back. So Tommy tried to keep it from her for a minute. But later on, he revealed what really happened to the dog. But, so he's going through that. And he's going through this inner turmoil about killing Ghost. So he knows Ghost is leaving him voicemails and things, and he keeps listening to the voicemails. And Holly catches him a few times, and she's like, Who is that on the phone?" And later on in the episode, when he feels backed into a corner, he knows he has to make a decision. Am I going to let Ghost live, or am I going to kill him? So he decides in his mind, I'm going to kill him. So he tell Ghost to meet him, and when he comes to meet him on the bridge, he has his gun ready. He's hiding in a good spot. Ghost would not have seen this coming at all. So he points his gun at Ghost, but he can't do it. Like, he is really trying to will himself to pull that trigger, and he cannot do it. So that lets him know he can't kill him because he still loves him. That's his family. Like, that's his brother. And he can't kill him no matter how mad he is at him. That is almost impossible. You can see it in his face. He doesn't want to, he wants to do it, but he can't do it, right? So later on in the episode, he gets wasted. Like, he's snorting lines left and right. He beats some guy up in his organization that says something sideways to him, and he just loses it. And, Julio was just looking at him like, man, really? You are spiraling out of control. What are you doing? Back at home, Tommy is all messed up, snot coming out of his nose. He's all messed up. And Holly comes in there and she's like, what's wrong? And he tells her, we're going to die. Lobos is going to send them goons to kill us because I cannot kill ghosts. And, he tells her everything that's been going on with the dog and him trying to kill ghosts and all of that good stuff. And Holly just tells him, I know you can do it. I know it's hard, but you can pull that trigger. You can kill him. So she's just really gassing him up, and he gets this look on his face like, yeah, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. No, he's not going to be able to kill ghosts. Quit gassing him up. Like Holly was doing all kind of stupid stuff in this episode, as usual. So when Tasha had given Tommy that check, that big old check, right? He brought it home and he showed Holly the check. So when she seen how much it was, she was like, oh, let's go, handle this. Let's put it in the bank. Let's do what we do. And he's like, no, 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 no. I'll handle that, because, she prone to have sticky fingers. And plus, she don't make the best decisions. Okay? Her think through game is not on point. Okay. So anyway. So all while she's, trying to seduce him or whatever the case may be, she reaches back and she grabs that check. And then the girl gonna go try to deposit it anyway. So when she rolls up in the bank and she's trying to deposit that big old check, you know, uh, she thinks she can just go in there and go, bloop, here you go. And it's just gonna go through. No, she needed to get verification from Tommy because, her name wasn't on the check. And, he had to sign for it, blah, 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 the whole spiel. And so she didn't get to do it. So she had to go back and tell Tommy what she had done. And he was like, why would you do that? You can't go behind my back and do things like that. And it kind of triggered this emotion in him anyway. He's already in his feelings about Ghost and Ghost going behind his back and making plans and not keeping him informed on it. So he was like, if you really want to be my partner, you got to keep me in the loop. You can't go behind my back and do things like that. And just as a side note, when Ghost kids get there, um, everything goes pretty smoothly. Angela kind of busts in and she's like, Jamie, I need to tell you something. I need to talk to you. And the kids got there earlier than she expected, but I think she did a pretty good job. But you could tell she was trying to be their friend and just let them know that she's there for them and she loves their dad. And I mean, it's going to be awkward anyway. And I have to once again give it to Tasha because she told the kids before they made it over to Ghost and Angela's house, y'all be good and act like y'all been raised right. Don't go over there acting silly and crazy. The oldest daughter asked her, do you still love dad? And she just kind of hugged them all and just said, listen, we're a family. We're always going to be in each other's lives. We're always going to love each other. And it was the right thing to say. Even Jamie, when the kids were at his house, he kind of huddled them together and let them know, everything is going to be okay and I love y'all. And, so as parents, they're doing a pretty good job at being on the same page in front of the kids. Tasha felt so alone when the kids were gone, and it was just sad to see her sitting there alone because she went from having a house full of kids and a husband and things going on, and her being included in all of this stuff, to her husband is gone, and now there are going to be moments when the kids are not there because they're spending time with their dad and his new girlfriend. And you could just see it in her face. What is the next step? This is my life now. How am I going to manage it? So my heart went out to Tasha in this episode. But these are the major things that happened in this episode. Let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, the guy that actually stabbed Lobos, that Jamie was trying to get to stab Lobos again and take him out. The shady detective that works with Angela, he found out who the guy was and made a call and had him killed as well. So he won't get to talk. I will see you guys in the next video for the next episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. If I forgot anything, please drop it below in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me about the points that I made on this episode, or do you feel differently? Do you have any ideas about what might be coming up in the episodes? Do you think Dre is gonna get to be a part of Ghost's inner circle? I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I feel like Drake is gonna do something to sabotage what's going on because he's too antsy. Like he wants that street life. I don't know. Maybe Ghost will be able to change him a little bit. I don't know. But we'll see, guys. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard.